Hello everyone, I am Sreekanth Arimanithaya and welcome to GHRC Talk Show and also welcome to Vajram Gardens where I am having this talk show today. And all of you are very familiar with GHRC. It's called the Global HR Community, which we started 15 months back. The objective of this networking platform is to bring all the HR leaders, thought leaders, business leaders, academicians, the HR startup firms, as well as the HR consulting firms come together on a common platform like this to connect, to learn from each other, to grow and contribute back to the community. So over the last several months, we have done amazing job interviewing, connecting, celebrating HR professionals' growth and success across the globe. Today, I am very honored and privileged to interview Dr. Aswin Chandarr, who is a renowned thought leader and super specialist in the domain of AI and robotics. Ashwin, welcome to GHRC.
Yeah. Thanks,
Welcome to
Sri.
Vajram Garden.
Yeah, thank you, Sri. It's been a pleasure to be knowing you and working with you, and it's looking forward to have exciting conversations. Trying to find out. I'm hoping to get some more insights to our conversations.
Thank you, Ashwin. I met Ashwin a couple of months back when we are looking for a head of engineering for Machani Robotics. That's the time I met him. And good news is he joined Machani Robotics. Now he's heading Machani Robotics RIA globally, the engineering. And I met several engineering leaders and business leaders over the last several decade in my CHRO career. But I never met a leader like Ashwin, who is very, very knowledgeable in deep technology. He is an entrepreneur himself. He has written books and also represented in various forums on his thought leadership in AI and robotics. We are very, very honored to have him today. And as I mentioned, Ashwin brings in more than 18 years of experience. He has done his PhD in AI and robotics from university in Europe, and he also done his MBA, and that makes him a very unique combination of technology thought leadership as well as the business and strategic leadership. And as I mentioned earlier, Ashwin has written a book. It's called Inevitable AI, and he also founded a company specialized in robotics for elderly care, and he also established an international forum on AI professionals in consulting and bringing thought leadership. I don't think anybody I met in recent past as qualified and a thought leader in the what you call the hottest topic today, AI and robotics.
Thanks for the inspiring, encouraging words, Sri. Glad to hear.
Let's start with knowing a little more about your book. I had a chance to browse through it. To be honest, I've not read it completely. Just walk us through what is inevitable AI means
Right.
and what's the thoughts around that book.
Yeah, okay. So the journey started when I think 2.5, 3 years ago when the ChatGPT first launched. And suddenly everybody's like, wow, this is a magic, it's changing the world, robots are going to take over the world, right? So, but even, so a lot of people came to me and asked, okay, so Terminator's alive, are they going to take us over? What is the role of humans now, right? Not just normal people, but also industry leaders and people, they are like completely fascinated by these things. Then I had to like say, tell everybody this is a limitation, this is what it can do, but this is the power it can do, right? So that's the core reason I started writing a book, that I need to reach out to more people to bring the true essence of AI, right? So all my life, the work has been about telling what's possible, what's not possible, and also imagining what could be, right? The thought leadership there. So that's why I wrote a book, and then gave a perspective about what is AI in terms of common language that everybody understands, because you get completely thrown off by different jargons, the networks, the racks, and all this stuff. But at the end, it's very simple. Like it has to tie up with business logic, what it can achieve, what it cannot. So that's one reason I started writing the book. And then while writing the book, I also found out to tell to people why it's a transformative time in human era. So it seemed like when industrial revolution happened, it got us so far, and this is the beginning of the next revolution. So how do you look at it, and how do everybody get utilization from it? For example, how do enterprises can absorb it? How can startups create new value, and how can investors be very critical in doing this? Not just that, also governments.
Mhm.
How should they look at this technology? What should the risk? What should they be? Even in terms of data sovereignty and national interest and security, how should they look at it? And this general common thing that okay, as any powerful technology, if you let it uncontrolled, it can give a completely negative effects. So what should we be aware of? What can be the negative effects if it lets uncontrolled? And these are kind of thing I want to bring it out. That's why I wrote the book.
I think it's fantastic. I know today AI can write a book on AI, but you have written the book before that, before AI generative AI got so mature today.
Right, yeah.
So another observation after working very closely with you all over the last several months, you're right. Today, AI impact to society and business is exponential.
Definitely.
It's not incremental. So I had a chance to listen to multiple conversation in Singularity University, which I'm reading now,
Right.
and they say that if you really look at prior to agricultural society, the GDP, global GDP grew from 0.14 to industrial revolution to 3%. But it's expected to grow further from 2025 to 2030, next 5 years, from 3% GDP, global GDP, I mean, to 7.3, adding almost 13 trillion US dollars.
Right.
New economy will be created, and using converging and deep tech, and AI will be the center of convergence. I saw ARK investors predictions on 5 converging technologies.
Right.
And it's very exciting time to be an AI professional. As you rightly said in your book, also AI is today an accelerator, which we need to use it very carefully. Definitely. And make an exponential impact. It's very exciting time. Ashwin, going back into your entrepreneurship journey, when we met first, you beautifully narrated. You did some startup, especially in robotics in elderly care. Can you just throw us some insight on what was that?
Yeah. Sure, happy to run through the memory lane. Right. Yeah. The company, the idea started when I was doing the PhD, the first year of PhD, and in Europe, there has been this elderly. The issue of elderly care for a long time because it's a nuclear society and people are independent or like they are not with the families, and there has been a lot of research going on into developing robots for these people, but nothing really came out. And then there was really a call that we need to make a product out of it which is really in the market. There was a real research call. So what we did was to look at the real problem, and the goal was to make them stay at home longer, give them their dignity, give them their satisfaction that they can be independent. It's like superhuman tools for elderly, right? That's what the goal was. So the goal was to give an companion, which is mobility companion, which they can walk with it and prevent falling and look at all different things of the like a day of elderly. So for example, they want to be active. That was a fundamental reason, and they're always scared of falling down. So how do we prevent falling down, and how do we help them get up, walk, talk to their family, and we gamify the whole experience. So like you can take the robot and walk around the house to get points. Yeah. So and we made dances. So you should make dances with the robot, all different things, right? And we can make community around the robots. It was a very exciting experience to create something from scratch. But not just that, we had to be very careful with the price point, that we could not just sell a robot for $100,000. So we had to really make a technology which is producible for less than $3,000. So we had to develop from scratch. So I was involved right from choosing the motors, the metal part, making the sensor ourselves so that it's a tightly built system. So it was a really incredible journey. So we did impact a lot of people. So more than 1,000 people use our robots was there. Was very good, interesting run there.
Excellent. And today you are continue to work in the same domain with the Machani Robotics, RIA, the first humanoid in the earth. I know we are working on elderly care as one of the use cases, apart from nursing assistance and teaching and skilling assistance. So exciting domain. I agree with you. With the longevity, people will live long. Right, yeah. And the nuclear family and the loneliness is going to really be a big problem. And humanoid robots like RIA is going to revolutionize that industry and that domain. Thank you, Ashwin. The next question is related to your career before we get into our topic of HR and AI. We discussed about your book, we discussed about your startup. I'd like to know a little more about, you started an international forum.
Correct, yeah.
Can you throw a little more insight on that?
Sure, yeah. Sure. So while writing my book, I discussed a lot of my colleagues, my peers, my seniors. they're all, like, say, pioneers in the domain, right? So some people are in the legal field, some people are in the policy field, some people are in medical or different fields. So I want to create a forum where we can bring in the expertise of all different domains and to see how AI can transform each other's language, right?
Yeah.
But also, if you go to any particular company, it's because AI is a new field, you cannot gain experts who are using AI for last 10 years, right? So we want to bring in kind of upskilling program just also for the industry. So we want to give the complete pipeline, educating the students, training them, upskilling the people, but also the industry to how to absorb, but how do you get your AI roadmap in place? What's the real value, right? So you just cannot spend money on AI just because it's AI, and we want to give a strategic roadmap on how AI can bring in value. So, and also we look into more things like when AI is bringing in, what do you do with the people? That's something I always really talked about. That's something really very important to talk about, because you cannot just run a company with two people and hundreds of AI agents. So that's something very important, and that's a forum I built. I give talks, talk to university people, connect people from across the globe, and yeah, bring my all expertise into one place.
Excellent. I think it's absolutely phenomenal to know today leaders are giving back to society in form of writing books, white papers, articles, making forums like this where people can network, connect, and grow. And another thing I've seen in the last several weeks working very closely with you as a SAPI Labs CEO, one of the areas we are working with universities to build venture studio and the deep tech labs and the curriculum. At least Ashwin and myself working on at least 5 to 10 deals right now with various universities. One is a very big one in Bangalore. So can you tell us a little more on your thought of how do you set up next venture studio, technology labs, curriculum for computer science students to get specialization in AI, whether it's generative or general intelligence to super intelligent AI, whether it's AI for generating information or agentic AI, processing task, or embedded AI like humanoid
Yes.
robotics. Can you tell us a little more insight on, how you are helping education institutions set up labs as well as curricula?
Right, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so very happy to be working with you to get these institutions right. And
Yeah.
the one big reason for AI is it's not a traditional domain of 40 years of background knowledge and books. Books are not enough to be in the AI field and any deep tech field. And also, education, as we know, is completely changing how it is. Because before we used to like get classes, let write exams and do things, but now people really want to do stuff, and they have so much of knowledge information available. They can, there is no difference between the person growing up in US studying in Harvard and somebody anywhere in Bangalore, even close anywhere in villages in India, right? It's information is, there is no boundary for information. So then our goal is to trigger people in the right direction so they can use the information rightly, and we should distill the information so that they can use this to learn things faster and to create new things. So what we're looking at Venture Studio, I'm very happy to do that, is instead of just looking at student as a consumer of information, creation of ideas, creation of products, and combining our expertise in terms of looking at what industry needs to looking at thought leadership and giving that to students and giving them forum to just develop and create products, so that in 4 years with their creativity and their enthusiasm they can create something new, pushing boundaries of what's even possible. That's what you're doing at Venture Studio.
Absolutely, Ashwin. It's very, very exciting. A deadly combination of what do you call it as the humanoid robot, Machani Robotics, we are working. The SARPI Labs, which I am heading, front end is Singularity University, TED, and EXO, where we are inspiring K-12 students,
Right.
we are inspiring higher education campuses, and also reskilling, upskilling leaders from industry. And through the last several conversation we had with many, many universities, whether we took RIA for a keynote, welcoming new students, or setting up a venture studio on humanoid robotics as well as agentic AI. The excitement is huge. And I also noticed there's a very huge skill gap of people who can create curriculum, who can build labs and create various modules of this one. I think we are very uniquely positioned. I never seen a leader like you who can really help. And it's very evident whenever we go to college and present our capability, people get in first 10 minutes and said, let's start working. So thank you very much. So this is an episode one. We'll have multiple episodes to cover a vast topic of AI and HR. In the first episode, I would like to focus on Aswin as a leader, showcasing him and his thought process and his contribution in the area of AI and robotics. Ashwin, tell a little more about your family, your wife and kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're a small family.
Mhm.
I have one wife and one child. She is now
Mhm.
3.5.
Mhm.
Very active family, let's say.
Mhm.
So we are completely unorthodox in general, in sense we chose the untrodden path, right? So we try to take the most difficult of things.
Mhm.
So my wife is an architect by profession.
Mhm.
So we met together in Delft when we were studying.
Mhm.
So I was in mechanical engineering, she was in robotics, and
Mhm.
so other way around. Like, so I used to spend time a lot in architecture,
Mhm.
and she's also a creative person, and we are always the people who travel,
Mhm.
and we yeah. And our daughter, she's the most active person. Sometimes we get exhausted. I said, "Hey, let me go to work. It's me more refreshing, right?" So we together we decided a path to come back to India. So a lot of people question, why do you come back to India? You have a better life, but we want to both give back to society and bring up the whole ecosystem here. And one reason came back, and that's what it is. And she's also an entrepreneur. So people say two entrepreneurs in a family is not really a good deal, but that somehow keeps us going, right? The challenges of the excitement of creating something new. That's what drives us.
What is her name? Sorry,
Revati.
Revati. We should get Revati to GHRC Talk Show maybe next month. And the reason is she's an architect and she also done a lot of deep tech, but she's an entrepreneur today. And when I spoke to Ashwin a couple of weeks back about his family, he was telling how Revati, isn't it? Sorry, Revati has been working on storytelling of Indian parables and nurturing values among students and leaders. Absolutely, we need to talk to her in the coming weeks. I will take your support to get
Of
connected
course,
with
yes.
her. And today, when he came to Vajram Garden, he brought some of the very interesting puzzles she has created to really send a message of values using parables. So I have Kathakali, it's one of the puzzle, and you can learn Kathakali, I think, and through that certain values.
Yes,
So
exactly. What does
another,
it mean? Why is it created? The history behind it,
yeah,
the
exactly.
richness, all these things.
Then another one is our famous Patachitra, isn't it? Patachitra is
Yes,
again, it's an art, fine arts in South India or
it's from Orissa.
Orissa, and through that she has created a puzzle, and people can learn this art, the culture, and the storytelling. And the next one I saw he got it is called the Sacred Note, the marriage, isn't it? Indian traditional marriage, and she has created a puzzle on that. Absolutely fantastic to know more about it, how people are being creative and sticking to our core and conveying the messages through this kind of puzzles and various forms of storytelling.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ashwin. So what we'll do, Ashwin, I also want to you to show or to go through the Vajram Gardens. So now we'll break this. The next episode, I would like to take in another spot of Vajram Garden.
Perfect.
And where we are sitting is a library in Vajram Gardens, which is part of the global HR community. We want the people to come here and use this environment to learn, collaborate, and to be innovative. So we have collected a lot of excellent books, which is on deep tech, exponential growth, mindset of Singularity University, what they talk about it, and many such good books. And you also see a lot of photographs here. We have good collection of Tanjavur paintings. I have 200 plus Tanjavur paintings. So wherever you go, you'll find Tanjavur paintings displayed there. Again, you are welcome to come and visit us, and we can have small conversation, discussions, and use this ambience to accelerate our learning. So thank you, Ashwin. To
Maybe I want to add one
yeah,
small piece, right? So
yeah,
what's very unique or special about I feel about Vajram Gardens is, right? So on one side you were pushing the boundaries of technology, possibility, right?
yeah,
Creating new things,
mhm,
deep tech,
yeah,
all the things which are not done before. On the other side, we are bringing or you're rooting all the things of culture,
yes, absolutely.
which is a culmination of thousands of years
Mhm,
of our own ancestors working
mhm,
together, keeping it alive, right? So I feel that we are rooted and also, let's say,
yeah,
going out, right? That's, I think, very special. Either people forget that they get immersed in roots or get it completely lost and go into others. I think that's something which we should really bring out.
absolutely. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, Ashwin. So we'll continue our dialogue on next episode on A and HR,
Right.
the
Perfect.
most exciting topics.
Indeed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.